Hey class, okay, so in lesson 6.4, example 2, we're still solving using the quadratic formula, so I've included that in the slide up there at the top. Remember, the first step is I want you to identify your a, b, and c. A is always the number in front of x squared, b is always the number in front of the x, and c is always the number in front, that is by itself. It's the constant. So make sure, because that's a -2 and a -4, you put those down as negatives. So let's go ahead and let's plug this into our formula first. Okay, so we have it plugged into our formula here, and remember I told you you're going to work it in pieces. So we're going to work this part first. So you still have your x equals a -2 is +2 plus or minus your square root. -2 squared is a +4, and then you got minus 4 times 1 times -4 is a -16, so you got actually a +16 underneath there. All over 2 times 1 is 2. So go ahead and combine what's under your radical. So you end up with x equals 2 plus or minus the square root, but 4 plus 16 is 20 all over 2. Well, unlike example 1, here I can factor out that 20, so I need to do that. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to rewrite my problem first. So x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 20 all over 2, and I'm going to factor out that 20. So what gives me 20? One of the things is 4 and 5. So 2, 2, and 5, right? So when I work this out for the square root of 20, I end up taking out a 2 and I leave a 5 underneath. So when I go to rewrite this now, I have x equals 2 plus or minus 2 square roots of 5 all over 2. And remember, I said in the previous video and in class that you've got to check the numbers that are outside of the radical. I have a 2, a 2, and a 2. Are they all divisible by some number? Obviously a 2, right? So go ahead and divide that out, and that gives you a 1, and a 1. So technically we have x equals 1 plus or minus 1 square roots of 5 all over 1. Well, do you have to put the all over 1? Well, what is anything divided by 1? Itself. So you don't actually have to write the all over 1. What about the 1 in front of the radical? Well, that's 1 times the square root of 5, so that would just be the square root of 5. So you don't actually have to write this one either. So this one is out, and this one is out. We don't need it. But do you need this one here? Yes, because the plus or minus, you have to have the 1 in front to be that placeholder. So you end up with your solution is 1 plus or minus the square root of 5. You don't have to split this into two different problems because it's got a radical in it. Hope this helps, guys.